The Gospel of the Lord. In 1857, John Henry Hopkins wrote the familiar turn that we sing at Christmas Masses, "We three kings of Orient are." In the Protestant Reformation, many people like Luther and Calvin rejected the Epiphany, the Feast of the Three Kings, because they didn't like the church being involved with kings, being involved with royalty. However, as we just read in our Gospel today from St. Matthew, there is no mention that they are three kings, but rather they are magi. Magi, probably priests from the East, astrologers who saw the star indicating the birth of a Messiah and come to do him homage. In the very early church, the Feast of the Epiphany, the Feast of the Magi, was an important feast. The most important was that of the resurrection of Jesus. The next was the Epiphany, God revealed to the nations. The Magi were not Jewish, but rather pagans. And in St. Matthew's Gospel, the many people who accept Jesus and his message are those who are outside Judaism. As the apostles went about preaching, they moved into what they call pagan territory in the Roman Empire, proclaiming the Messiah, the King of the world. For those who were not Jewish, the Magi were their heroes, the first who recognized the birth of the Messiah, the first to go and worship him and present him with gifts. Today we do celebrate the Feast of the Epiphany. In the Old Testament, it is predicted that when the Messiah would come, he would come not just to one people, but to all. He's revealed to everyone, and everyone has a choice to accept or to reject the Messiah. In St. Matthew's Gospel, he points out that many of the people that experienced Jesus or encountered Jesus were non-Jewish, and yet they accepted him. Today in our Gospel story from St. Matthew, we have three groups of people that Jesus is revealed to, and three very different ways they react to that revelation. And the first is King Herod. And it is said that when it's revealed, he became anxious, he became upset. And he had some reasons. Because he was not of the line of David, and only those from the line of David could be true kings of Israel. In fact, Herod really wasn't even Jewish. He became a puppet king of the Romans, king of Judea, but still under Roman control. For him, the revelation was upsetting, and his first thought is to eliminate the Messiah. He wanted no one to steal his throne. And the second group were the priests and the scribes. They knew the scriptures. They knew where Jesus was to be born. They knew, and yet when it was revealed to them that he was born, they didn't do anything. They didn't ask, when was he born? Where is he now? Can we go and worship him as the Messiah that they had waited for generations? They didn't try to destroy the child like Herod, but they also didn't go to recognize Jesus as the Messiah promised from of old. The Magi are the third group. recognizing that the Messiah was born and came to worship him and to honor him with sacred gifts. We don't know what happened to the Magi after they left. In a poem by T.S. Eliot, The Journey of the Magi, he likes to think that they went back to their own country, but in their own country, they felt uncomfortable. Having encountered the Messiah, it was difficult to live among people who did not recognize him. I would like to think when they went back to their own country, they did proclaim the Messiah, the true Messiah, the true God, proclaimed him, and then left it up to the people to accept or to reject. Today we celebrate the revelation of Jesus, presented to the world and presented to us. And like the groups in the gospel story, the question is, how do we react to the revelation the Messiah is among us? He's not among us as a baby in Bethlehem as he once was, but rather he is presented to us today through Scripture and especially through the sacraments. He is presented to us and other people that we encounter each day. How do we react to that revelation? It is the hope of the Church that each time we encounter the Messiah, our Christ, our faith will grow. Our faith will grow, become stronger, and recognize that we have an obligation to conform our life to the teachings of the Messiah, and also to proclaim the Messiah to other people. We don't know what happened to the Magi when they returned to their country, but in St. Luke's Gospel, he notes that when the shepherds left Bethlehem, they proclaimed the Messiah to others. Our vocation, our job as a Christian, is to live the Christian life and to proclaim Christ to others. Today, we encounter Christ in the sacrament. May our faith grow stronger each day, and let us proclaim our Messiah, our belief to others.